Let's just do a little test with this external microphone and see how long this DJI Osmo Action 4 can stay on before it turns off and overheats if it does. I got a good feeling, unlike the GoPros, which I've had vast experience with, and the 5-10 minutes in warm weather, you know, shutting off, or if you're indoors in even, you know, cool weather, do 15 minutes if you're lucky. But sometimes I've forgotten to press stop on the DJI Osmo Action 4, and I felt something warm, you know, and I thought, what is that? And I picked it up and it's still been going like an hour and a half later. 1 hour, 30 minutes later. I'm like, Jesus Christ. My luck now, it won't last very long, but we'll see. Yes, I'm out of breath, just to be on a treadmill. Fat fuck, big gut. But here we are. See Osmo. It was already recording for 30 minutes, so I just stopped it and thought, oh, bugger it. I'll do it from warm. See how good it is from already warm, so I'll just leave it here and see how long it lasts before it shuts off. DJI Osmo Action 4. The best, in my opinion. Anyway, my first time using this external microphone. And not that far away from the camera, about 5 or 6 feet, but hopefully the audio is reasonably loud, and hey, maybe not exactly the most clear dialect, you know, this Welsh taffy Rhondda Valleys accent. But there we are, just leave this camera now and see what happens. Catch you soon. I'm sorry, I didn't just do one on the treadmill, but it's fucking frustrating. It's flicking through all the different things on it, and it's like, what? How can they say, right, oh, yeah, you've burned this many calories, right? How can they possibly say, oh, you've burned this many calories, right, when you haven't entered any information into the system about your weight and your height and shit like that. So how can I say, oh, you put this many calories? I'm just going to go up on my Garmin watch arm, I'm just going to go on the treadmill. Eventually, once I've lost a bit of weight, so I can get on the treadmill, it's just not slipping, which I think is caused by my excess weight. Once I'm a couple of stone, get on the treadmill and just go by my Garmin. Once it says the fucking kilometers up or something, and then I'll go by that. Yeah, maybe totally inaccurate indoors. Stuff like that, I wouldn't show you too much, who cares, fuck it. As long as I can get a good few kilometers done in a row, like, you know. When I have to 5 and back up to 10 again and stuff like that. I've turned the external microphone off now, so I'm just sitting here contemplating, thinking about, you know, how much I hate my life, I hate myself, and I won't bore you with that stuff. I'll just try and talk silently to myself in my own head. At least I've got my dog on the bed by the side of me, you know. He's there. Right. Time to be quiet.
guess you'd prefer some nice ASMR, you know, some nice ASMR. I mean, my mental health is kind of destroyed at the moment, and I'm doing my best to get help, you know. This mouse looks good. And what do the buttons sound like? Will they come through on the microphone? Click, 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 click. My mental health is screwed. How's your mental health? How is your mental health? I hope you're okay. I hope you're not like me. I wish nothing but the best for you. Scroll wheel, scroll wheel. Click, click. So, welcome to the non-professional psychiatric room here. How can I help you today? Oh, you're here for mental health problems. Well, fuck me. We have Sherlock Holmes. You've come to the psychiatry appointment because you have mental health problems. Well, I would laugh, but it's a good start. How can I help you? You have anxiety. Snap. You've been officially diagnosed with anxiety. Yeah, snap. Me too. It's terrible, isn't it? Generalized anxiety disorder. Why? I don't know. You know, people say, well, what are you anxious about? What are you anxious about? Sorry, I shall try and speak a little bit more clear. Because my Welsh run the Valley's accent, you know. I'm gonna stop this ASMR crap. You know, people say to me, "What are you? Why have you got a generalized anxiety disorder? What are you anxious about? What are you scared of?" I'm like, nothing. I don't owe anyone any money. There's no one coming after me. I'm not afraid of anyone. I haven't got any enemies. I don't know I have generalized anxiety disorder. But yet, when I walk the dog, and I swear to God, I am like Alex Poatan Pereira walking, doing the ring walk. You know, shoulders relaxed, head back, you know, stoic look, and I feel like a god. Weird, but, you know, and 2 minutes later I can be in the house and I can be plucking up the courage to go over the shop to buy a can of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever. And this is not my normal accent, you know. My normal accent, saying go over the shop to get a can of Coca-Cola, would be go over the shop, like, get a can of Coke. Yes, that is the Welsh taffy mumbly accent, you know, but I shall try and speak a little bit more clearly. So, officially diagnosed with GAD, generalized anxiety disorder. Trauma is too much to explain at the moment. I will get into it. I will get into it. Because, you know, the Welsh taffy normal language I speak would be, I will get into it. In other words, I will get into it. I will get into it. I shall address the situation and what has, I think I have 100% worked out exactly what has caused me to be the way I am today, and you know, it's gonna. It is going. Sorry, no, it's not. It's not. It's gonna. it is going to take time, courage, just there is so many years to go over, decades to go over, you know, nothing could be explained in even a 2-hour video. So I'm going to have to make, you know, I mean, I'm probably boring everyone to tears, but as long as I can, as long as even if all of my videos about mental health get one view, and that one view is from a person in 10 years' time who can look at my videos and say, oh my God, that guy has got this problem, that problem, and this problem, exactly like me. Oh my God, I'm not alone. There are people out there like me, you know, got anxiety, got trauma, PTSD, you know, severe depression. Oh my, I'm not alone. If I can reach one person like that, you know, that's good for me. That's good for me, you know. I mean, how fun do you think it is, you know, just putting my name up there, up on a billboard, you know? This is me. This is what I suffer from. But hey, I'm a man. Yes, I suffer from many mental health conditions, but I can guarantee you it doesn't make me weak. And like I say, everything on the wall beside me proves that. And I'm not going to say or even show any of that. I promise you. It's a scary fact that, anyway, there was a survey done, and 60% of the men who identified as having mental health problems, whether it's one mental health problem, minor, or whether it's somebody with everything major, you know, 60% said they would never ever tell a single soul. 60%, it's all men now. 60% who identified as having mental health problems said they would never ever go public with it, not even tell a friend, a partner, a girlfriend, a wife, a family member, nothing. And that is, I can totally understand, but this whole stigma of, you know, oh, man up, you know, people will see me as weak, blah, 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 people will judge me. Let them judge you. So what? I mean, God, for God's sake. I mean, if you broke, you know, if your head was perfect and you fell off a ladder, 20 feet, you broke your femur, you broke your, you know, your shin bone, you broke your forearm, you tore your rotator cuff, you know, you had all these issues. I mean, does that make you weak? You know, you're a weak person then? This whole stigma, to me, it's hard to say it, but, you know, it breaks my fucking heart when I scroll through Facebook sometimes and you see so many people who have chosen to self-exit from this world, you know, and it just absolutely, you know, and this is in my country, in South Wales, in the UK, United Kingdom. For any Americans out there, you know, no, the UK is not England and London and that's it. No, there's Scotland, there's England, there's Northern Ireland, Wales, you know. I'm in South Wales, trying to speak clearly, believe it or not, because if I was to use my normal accent, like, it's like, you know what I mean, like, but you wouldn't understand, like, innit? And that was, if I was to use my normal accent, you would not understand me, like, would you? Isn't it? Whatever. But hey, mental health does not make you weak. Jeez. I tell you what, you know, in a gun to the head situation, if I was stood in the street and I had two choices, a gun to the head, and the guy said, right, you've got to fight one of these guys opposite you or I'm going to shoot you. That bloke there, average size man, he's got, you know, a few mental health problems, or you can fight the big steroid freak bouncer beside him who's got no mental health problems. I'd say
Give me that steroid freak now. I will break him in half in 2 seconds. I guarantee you. Mental health, I mean, hell. You know, it's horrible. It is horrible. And it's just there every single goddamn day, and it just doesn't go away. The loneliness, the isolation, you wake up in the morning and, you know, like, if somebody says to you, oh, all right, or okay, mate, and you're like, yeah, okay, mate. Really, if you're like me, and you so badly want somebody to stop and say, no, mate, are you really okay? Do you want to chat? God, the amount of years I've just prayed someone would just look at me and just be able to read my eyes, because I'm an empath, big time, with boundaries. Only recently learned to have boundaries, but I can, we can read people. We've got a power. As people with mental health problems, we can be in a room. I know exactly how you feel. I do. I know exactly how you feel. If you wake up in the morning and you're terrified for fuck knows no reason. Hey, welcome to my world every single day. Isolation. There's nobody in my house. I have no one to speak to, no friends. I haven't got one person in my goddamn phone, right, to speak to. I mean, my phone is right there. You're not going to hear it. Because no one texts me, no one messages me, nothing. For years and years and years, isolation, after my best friend, who I only knew him for a year, but we were like brothers. I swear to God, we were like brothers. We were just absolute soulmates. And before anyone, with no mental health problems starts thinking, all this gay stuff, whatever, I don't care. It doesn't matter, but hey, I'm straight. He was straight. He was just like my brother. We would have died for each other. Type of people who, if he rang me up and said, and he 2 o'clock in the morning and said he had a problem, I'd just be like, phone down at his house, then ask him what's wrong. Exactly the same as he'd do for me. There's so many fake people out there these days, They'll use you, they'll borrow money, and if you've got a car, they'll ask you for a lift here and a lift there. Do you think they'll give you any petrol money? Hell no. And if you're like me, like I used to be, you will come up with excuses like, oh, you've done me a favour, mate, you've got me out of the house for 15 minutes, because I'm always in the house on my own, so, oh, you've done me a favour by, me giving you a lift 10 goddamn miles. How stupid. I mean, jeez, I look back now, I think, oh my God, what an idiot. What an idiot I was. But hey, I'm anxious, lonely, depressed. And admittedly, I don't want to be on this planet anymore. But I am not going to self-exit. Simply because I'm a coward. I haven't got the guts to. You put another man in front of me, and if a situation arises where there's a gun to the head situation and I'm forced to fight, I'm sorry, I'm confident 9 times out of 10 I'll be coming out winning in 5 seconds flat. But anxiety, depression, PTSD, trauma from years ago, and just being stuck on that date. Google it. Wales Online. Bodybuilder dad couldn't go on. 28th of the April 2007, right? Or just type into Google. Bodybuilder dad couldn't go on. Wales Online. Or, 28th April 2007. Christopher Phillips. And then you'll see my name mentioned in the numerous articles. Because, yes, we were all on steroids, And hell, you would have loved the fact that there was 4 of us, 4 huge, ripped, steroid freak monsters. I'm not gonna do this kind of crying stuff because I haven't even when he died, because I can't, because I'm too afraid I'll lose my shit otherwise. So. 4 steroid freaks, we all carried him, and God, he was heavy. He's a big boy. 4 of us carried him to his final, yeah, I'm just gonna, but see, it's just so, I just want to end this now, but I really do. Anybody out there, look, if you're suffering and you wake up and you're terrified and you're isolated and you feel low, or you feel lonely and anxious and depressed and isolated, and you're just desperate for human contact, or PTSD, depression, everything, I'm never ever talking about medication. I'm not a doctor, okay? But I do have over 3 decades experience of being a mental health patient, going through every single thing you can possibly think of. But I will never talk about medication. I'm not qualified to do so, not at all. Am I qualified to talk about mental health? Yes. Can I give a lot of people the correct answers, and can I give a lot of people the true, genuine solutions to certain problems? Yes, easily. Can I follow those, easy rules and solutions myself? Hell no. Weird. It is just weird. I hate this whole mental health thing. It's And sorry, YouTube algorithm, but I don't care about all these, filler words and gaps and use this and use... Look, I'm just doing a straight talk here, just about mental health, and I'm going to have to come back to this. I just got to stop a minute. I'm just going to let this camera record. I didn't intend on saying anything. Just wanted to let the camera record and see how long I recorded before I shut off. It's doing so great compared to now my dog's snoring. It's doing so great compared to the GoPro. Oh my God, my mental health. I've doxed myself on Facebook. I've given my address out, and I've practically begged people to come and knock my door. And just say hello to me and speak to me and just please be my friend. That desperate, that's what I've been. No one's ever knocked. I've got to stop. I'm gonna lose my shit. Otherwise, I've got to stop a second. And I promise, I know these videos may not be great at the moment, but I'm not, not gonna, be like, don't use filler words. Use a zoom here, use a slow pan there, use a transition here in the videos. This is just raw, uncut, true mental health from, an expert, me, a goddamn super qualified expert, over 30 years of mental health problems. If you got it, trust me, I've got it. And I did say I was going to stop talking, but I will shut up now. I'm turning this external mic off, and any noise you hear now will just be me tapping away on the keyboard or watching something on YouTube. I don't know. I just want to see how long this camera will record for. I'm sorry for, everybody out there, whether you've just got one slight tiny bit of mental health issue which affects you once a year, or whether you're like me, you've got a zillion problems and every second of your life feels like an absolute torture device. I'm so sorry, I really am, and I promise you my videos will get better, and I'll try and organise, topics a bit better. But I'm sorry if you've come here for fancy visuals, transitions, and no filler words and all this stuff. You've come to the wrong place. But if you want to come to a place to listen to an expert who has got so many mental health problems and decades of experience, and I am, I know myself, it is so rare to find somebody like myself who's willing to just say, hey, this is me out in full, and this is my issue, and this is my issue, and I've got this issue, and I got this issue, and this issue as well, and sometimes it's good to come across, it's so rare, but sometimes it helps people, to come across someone like me who they can think, holy shit, he's just like me, whoa. Even if one person in 10 years thinks, holy crap, this guy, Matthew, he's on about his anxiety, PTSD, trauma. I suffer from all that. Holy shit. I thought I was the only one, Hey, I've done my job. Seriously, oh my God. I fake laugh, I know. I'm so lonely. Oh my God, shut up. Turn the microphone off, Matthew. Just let it record and just give me a chance, guys. Please, subscribe, like, what have you, and videos will get better, and I'll try and organise things and put them into a structure, and obviously separate the topics out, the anxiety. It's kind of a vlog, not a vlog, because I'm not showing my face, because I hate myself, because, yes, do you want to know something else? Donkeys years ago, age 13, I was diagnosed with body dysmorphic disorder. And back then, nobody had a clue what the hell that was. How hard to deal with it. And oh my God, I'm just too afraid to show my face on camera, because I just think, well, like I always do, and I always have all my life, I just think, oh, I'm ugly, people are just going to look at me and think, ew. Hey, I'm no Cyrax, but it's so fucking hard, and people might say to you, oh, you have a tough day, oh yeah, no, I know what you mean, mate, but nah, guys, I know what you mean. Exactly what you mean. I promise you could leave anything in it. Actually, that's a good idea. Please, anybody suffering from mental health issues, or contact me personally, or leave something in the comments. I'm new to this whole making trying to make some sort of a channel slowly, better and better. I'm new to this, and leave something in the comments, what you want to hear about, I mean, I suffer from being officially diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety, PTSD, major trauma, body dysmorphic disorder, severe depression. Where do you want to start, guys? I mean, really? You tell me what you want to talk about. Put it in the comments, and I can promise you, you think, I won't be full of shit. I don't, I don't piss around, I just tell the truth. I just say it as it is, But there's going to be no medical advice, I'm not a doctor. I'm an expert in mental health, because I've been going through decades of it, and I'm, still going through all these problems now. And sometimes it helps, to watch a boring video like this, and even though I planned not to speak, I was just going to leave my camera recording with zero sound. Now I've turned this into some kind of mental health, you know. But hey, you know, sometimes it helps to watch a video or just hear a guy, you know, hey, listen to me, turn your monitor off, just put the sound on, fall asleep if you can. If you can understand my Welsh accent, you know. Sometimes it helps, you know, to hear from another man, you know, and especially a man who will tell you straight, I'm definitely not weak. You know, I'm definitely not weak. But I have got a hell of a lot of mental health problems. And I'm like, so? You know, this is part of the problem, you know. I mean, 60% of the men, like I said earlier on, who identified with mental health problems said they would never tell anybody. 60%. This is a massive, massive, massive hurdle we have somehow got to get over, you know, because this whole... I cannot understand, you know, how it still exists, you know. Oh, mental health. Oh, man up. Oh, you weak. Oh, you pussy. You bitch. Oh, you know, I mean, really? You know, I flick through my local news feed in South Wales in the UK, and, you know, you see some young 19, 20-year-old girl, I think it was only a few weeks ago, you know, had committed suicide. And it's like, oh my God, I wish I could have talked to her. And a couple of days later, you'll see a guy, 30, 40, 50 years old, committed suicide. And you're like, oh, he only lives 10 miles away from me. I wish I knew him. I wish I could have talked to him. And, oh, you know, people won't reach out, see, because they're too afraid to talk, because they think, you know, the stigma of being weak. No, it doesn't make you weak. This is part of the problem. There's not enough people out there, and I'm not going to try and even attempt to force anybody to say, hey, you know, get your mics out, get on YouTube, get on Facebook, you know, shout your shit to the world. I'm not going to say that, you know. Hell, I wish you would. Just sometimes it helps, you know. Listening to a mental health, you know, weak non-man, you know. Yeah, right. Don't get me wrong, I'm not violent, but, you know, if someone come at my face, walked up to me and said to me, hey, mate, you that guy with mental health problems, you weak pussy, I would knock this guy, I would knock whoever it was spark out instantly. No problem. And I would, knowing me, put him in the recovery position and phone the police. Simple as that, and phone the ambulance, that's what I do, you know. Hey, I'm not weak. I'm not weak. Not at all. And you're not weak. I don't care if you've just got a bit of anxiety. I don't care if you're another person listening and you've got 10 problems. You're not weak. You know, talking about it doesn't make you weak. But anyway, whether you want to shout to the world about it or not, contact me personally on email. I think you can. Can you? I don't know. You tell me. Help me out. Help me make this channel. Please. Give me advice. Put stuff in the comments what you want to hear about. I mean, you know, but nothing medication-wise, you know, or nothing doctor-orientated, no. It's strictly what I am definitely an expert in, and that is suffering over 30 years of a very, very vast amount of mental health issues. So if you want to, you know, I can deep dive into so many different, you know, things, you know, the anxiety, the generalized anxiety, the social anxiety, the PTSD, I can just go into hours and hours and hours of any aspect you want to talk about it. And yeah, I am an expert on all those topics. Not a qualified expert as in a degree, no. But over 30 years, well over 30 years of suffering, I know my shit, and I'm in the shit, and I fucking hate this shit. Please, YouTube, don't take this video down because I'm swearing. I'm sorry, I apologise. It's just hard, and I'm just rabbiting on. And all I planned to do was come up here, press record on my action camera, and say nothing. And look at me, I'm still talking. Anyway, guys, please leave comments, say what you want to hear. Hey, you might be somebody watching this who hasn't got any mental health problems, and you might be thinking, what the fuck is this guy on about? He is a nut job. You want to call me a nut job or be a hater? I won't delete your comment. I won't reply to it, but I won't delete it. Everybody's free on my YouTube channel. You can comment what you want, within reason, of course. If you want to be like, hey, this guy, Matthew, the owner of this channel, he's a weird nut job. That's how you want to call me. Fine. If you want to leave a comment saying, oh, can you talk about anxiety next, and how does it affect you? How does it feel for you? What, or perhaps someone wants to know the difference between anxiety and a panic attack and how they're linked and how you can kind of control them, sort of thing. And if you feel a panic attack coming along, I can give excellent advice which works for me, non-medical, just talking advice which can stop your panic attack. And if anyone's ever out there had a panic attack, it's not anxiety, trust me. When you have a panic attack, you literally feel like that is it. Your life is over. Everything goes black. You feel like you can't breathe. You just literally feel like you're going to die, but you're not. I had my first panic attack over 10 years ago, and I tell you what, even though I was looking straight at a customer in my business at the time, everything went black. And I held onto my counter, and I was saying to my customer, help me. I didn't know what the hell was happening. I thought I was dying. Then my vision come back, and long story, anyway, panic attacks, anxiety. Just leave comments. Let me know what you would like me to talk about, and I will try and speak more clearly. I got a better microphone coming tomorrow, and give me suggestions. And there's going to be no memberships. There's not going to be no join this, buy me a coffee, crap, rubbish. None of that. This is to help people. I just want to help people. That's all I want to do. And I'm going to shut this external mic off now because I am gibbering on. Please help me out with this channel. Let me know what you want to talk about next. What you want to know about. And, like, for example, I want you to talk about anxiety. What does anxiety feel like? Because perhaps you don't even know if you have anxiety. Perhaps you're feeling a certain way, and it's new to you, and you're like, oh shit, why am I feeling like this? Is this anxiety? Is this a panic attack? Is this? Am I dying? Oh my God. You know what I mean? Leave comments, suggestions, questions. Please, slag me off, hate me. Oh, fine, I won't delete your comments. Help me out. I'm asking for your help as well. Let's do this thing together. I'm going nowhere. I'm just a guy who's got so many mental health problems, and I'm going to talk about them. And no names are ever going to be mentioned about anyone who contacts me or leave comments, or unless they specifically ask me to. Like, oh, so-and-so said he wants to talk about this subject, and it's, God, I could go on for years. So I'm going to count to 5, I'm turning this external microphone off. Help me out, guys. Leave some comments. What do you want to hear about? Hey, if you haven't got mental health problems and you've come this far, you've got mental health problems. Nah, seriously, if you haven't got mental health problems, you know, obviously I'd say don't leave hate comments, but I won't delete them unless they're seriously, bad and derogatory kind of thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love you all, guys. Probably hear me on the external microphone now. 40 minutes. Dog's beside me snoring. Can you hear any noise? My mouse mat and my mouse clicking and moving. Because I am scouting out YouTube. Laughing at these, alpha males. Wannabe alpha males, Where's Watson? Kyle Perry. And King Ben Azule, Real men do this and oh God alive. Oh.
What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing great.
Hey.
First, we have to address
fraud. I have to mention what I'm watching, because you probably might hear the audio. Josh Frauded the Troll, fantastic guy, got multiple channels, and he's Josh Prime 2. He's got multiple channels, awesome arrest videos. Karen's getting zapped by the tasers, etc. All these frauditors getting owned, and he's a hell of a nice guy, and he's finally showing his face. And Josh, I don't know what you hid for, mate. Nothing wrong with you. You are one hell of a guy. Fair play. I thought I'd have to mention his channel, Frauded a Troll, because that's what I'm watching now. So hey Josh, you got some money in the bank by me watching and clicking like. Click. There we are. 619. Let's go. Let's see your latest update.
It's the elephant in the room. I have lost all my hair. This lawsuit is so stressful. No, but in all seriousness, I need to go for something a little bit more professional. I'm starting some new projects. I'm like, you know what? Let's just get rid of it. But anyways, back to what really matters. We had a lot of movement in the case yesterday. So there was 2 filings. The first one was this, and the second one was a motion to dismiss from the plaintiff. But this video is about transparency and honesty, because unfortunately we can't rely on the opposition to be honest. Now, you look at this community post here. It says, we won the motion to dismiss in the Cordova v. Frauded or Troll case. So, won the motion. Now, let's take a look at what the judge actually said, because it's a little bit different. It says, order granting in part and denying in part. So, that's what happened. If you go all the way down, because I'm not going to read the entire thing, but if you guys want to read it, it's online. Basically, she denied our motion to dismiss claim 2 and 4, and she granted our motion to dismiss for claim 3. Now, what are claim 2 and 4? So claim 2 was, he's accusing me of basically lying on the counter notifications, which is very easy to disprove, but the judge decided that it was pleaded well enough so that it could survive the motion to dismiss stage. So that is going to move towards the next step, whether that's trial, whether that's summary judgment. So that's what the judge decided. Now, she granted our motion to dismiss count 3. So let me just pull it up. Count 3 was declaratory relief. So basically what DMA did is that he filed a claim for a video that wasn't even registered. He was trying to, I don't know what he was trying to do. I'm not a lawyer, but
I love fraud
basically
control.
the judge said, no, that's not happening. So that's good news. Before we were facing 3 videos and we were facing 4 claims. Now we're facing 2 videos and 3 claims. So it has been narrowed down to some extent. So that's the good news. Now, the bad news, because like I said, unlike the opposition, I'm just going to tell you the truth. You guys have been supporting the channel. You guys have been helping us with attorney fees.
Support
you guys
fraud
deserve
the troll.
Truth. I shouldn't sugarcoat it. I shouldn't try to hide stuff from you. And I'm not. Unlike the opposition. For example, we filed a counterclaims against DMA, and he has not said a peep. Not even one word. Not even a single word about it to his audience. So his audience doesn't even know that he is now facing claims just like I am. You know, where's the transparency? Aren't they like First Amendment auditors? They're all about accountability and transparency. Kind of weird, right? It's just crickets. But anyways, now she denied our motion to dismiss to get this circumvention of technological measures removed. So I'm not going to say I agree or disagree with the judge, because she's the judge. She knows best. You know, she went to law school and she's the judge. So her ruling is the decision. What I'm going to say is that unfortunately, this is going to have a pretty big impact on the YouTube community as a whole. So that decision is, you know, even though legally I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying that it will have a massive impact, and I'm going to explain to you why in just a moment. But basically, she said that it was well pleaded enough, that he was alleging all the right things, even though there's zero proof. There's no specific device information. There's no specific software information. There's zero proof. Without a single shred of evidence, this claim is allowed to go forward. So it is what it is. Now, the problem with this, the plaintiff's lawyer, he has precedent. So that doesn't mean that every judge is going to rule in the same direction. But apparently now he has precedent. So he is now saying we can now bring claims for illegally downloading videos without having to deal with fair use. Every creator on YouTube should thank Frauditor Troll for this ruling. So this is an interesting statement. So you remember how I told you it had nothing to do with fair use? This is the proof. For DMA, it has to do with vengeance. 100% vengeance, in my opinion. And for the lawyer, obviously he's a lawyer, so it has to do with money. Trying to get money out of people. Now, the problem with a statement like this is that it shows that we are going to see something like the ADA filings, where there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lawsuits that are basically nuisance lawsuits, that basically it's very expensive to fight and it's not really worth it. So people are going to have to make a decision. Do I fight it? Do I just settle? And, you know, discovery is a pain in the ass to go through. So some people might settle. But at the end of the day, this guy had a plan. He was going to bring this claim against creators. He's saying that they should thank me for the ruling. You know, I fought it. We fought it. We explained to the judge, my lawyer did explain to the judge, that if this is allowed to move forward, it's just going to be alleged in every single case just like this, that there are going to be, you know, hundreds of cases with no evidence whatsoever. And, you know, it's going to happen. What we said was going to happen was going to happen. So you guys need to be aware about this, because let me just say that most lawyers would not file lawsuits like that, especially when he's saying it has nothing to do with fair use, because then you're just chilling free speech. So if fair use is legal, but you're just going to file a lawsuit on fair use videos, you know, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So most lawyers would not, but hypothetically, a vulture or a group of vultures could start filing hundreds of lawsuits against content creators and then try to get some go away money. So that's the judge's decision, but that doesn't mean that we are going to lose whatsoever. That just means that it moves forward and that they're allowed to get discovery. Now they still have to prove their case, they have to prove circumvention, they have to prove all the other elements of that claim. So that's the situation there. At the end of the day, I'm glad we filed the motion to dismiss because we got claim 3 dismissed, which is good. You know, that's going to save us money down the road because
Nice.
now we're not fighting 4 claims, we're fighting 3. We're not fighting 3 videos, we're fighting 2. So that's pretty good. But yeah, the truth is that they were most excited for claim 4, and claim 4 got denied. So right now they're celebrating, but like I said, I owe you the truth, I owe you honesty, because the opposition is not going to give it to you. Like, I got a few comments from dim-witted crayon eaters on my community post yesterday, and they're like, oh, you lost the motion to dismiss. Well, I don't see anywhere here where it says
This guy frauded the troll, Josh. You know, you donate to him, you know, to help him fight this case in court, because this dickhead, DMA, he's a, you know, one of these, well, he pretends to be a First Amendment auditor. He's managed to get hold of a lawyer, you know, to sue Fraud the Troll for, I don't know, something to do with using some of his videos, even though he had permission. But it's basically it's costing that dickhead DMA, that's his name, DMA, frauditor. You know, he's not an auditor, First Amendment auditor. He's a frauditor, and he's suing Josh, frauded troll. You know, because Josh frauded a troll, hell of a nice guy. He's so transparent. Everything that gets donated, he shows you every single cent, every single penny of what's been spent and what's been spent where. You know, he's not a scammer. He's a hell of a shit hot, salt of the earth, you know, genuine guy. And anyway,
loss. I see where it says partially granting and partially denying. So, you know, you got to use the right terms. So like I said, there was a lot of filings yesterday. He also filed a motion to dismiss. Now, that's for R512F, which is him filing fraudulent copyright strikes. And what I find really interesting
Subscribe,
about this
click like.
motion to dismiss is he is ignoring or omitting a lot of the things that we have accused DMA of doing. Like, for example, he's really trying to minimize the non-exclusive license, the permission. He's saying like, oh, he just casually
DMA
said this
is a
and casually
dickhead.
said that. No, it's not casually said this. It's months of behavior. He gave me permission to play 5 videos on the live stream. He said, I'm not going to sue you. He literally said, I'm not going to sue you. I don't have a problem with what you do. We have different audiences. So he ignores all of that in this motion. All of that is ignored. He doesn't mention it. He doesn't mention the fact that the day before filing these false and illegal copyright strikes, he sent me pictures to use on my live stream the very day before filing them. So he's ignoring a lot. So I don't know if the judge is going to like that. I guess we'll find out. But
can I just add my 2 cents? Let me give you some of, you know, I'm speaking to you now, Josh, Fraud the Troll. My forensic analysis and expertise on this whole situation. DMA, you are a fucking dickhead, and you were putting Josh and his beautiful wife and everyone through so much stress and so much hassle. Just because, you are the scum of the earth, DMA. DMA, you're scum of the earth. You know, Josh, I hope you whoop some candy ass, mate. I'll be with you all the way.
Ours should go through. If his was allowed to go through, I don't see why ours would not be allowed to go through, because ours has a lot more merit than his. There's real, actual damages. His is pretty much meritless. When you really think about it, it's complete nonsense. He's saying, I used a fake address. I have proof that it was not a fake address. Just total nonsense, in my opinion. But ours has real standing, has real facts, real allegations, real financial damages. So I don't think he's going to get this granted. Obviously, I cannot decide what the judge is going to see. The judge is going to do the right thing, what she believes is right. So we'll see. But he filed this yesterday, so that means we have, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks to answer our opposition, and then he's going to reply, and then the judge will make a decision. So that's where we stand at the moment. There was a decision, and it was partially granted, partially denied. The opposition is just saying it was granted. DMA is still silent, no word from DMA, and we have to continue the fight. All right, so far this has been really expensive to fight. We are at $40,477. That's Canadian dollars, by the way. And the opposition knows this. They know that they have all the leverage because DMA's lawyer does not charge his clients. He wants a contingency on what happens afterwards. If there's a settlement or something like that, he wants a portion of that. But he does not charge per hour, so he knows that he can go all day, like Captain America said in that movie. He can go all day, and then the defendant has to pay real cash, real cold hard cash to fight this. So there's not a lot of people that are able to fight this. There's a lot of people that put in this situation, they would just negotiate with the frauditors. They would just settle, because it is way easier to just settle and make the problem go away than to actually fight in what you believe in. But that's not the option we chose. We chose to fight, and so far that's how much it costs. Now obviously you guys have been incredibly helpful when it comes to helping us recuperate or alleviate some of that cost. You guys gave us $20,000 on PayPal, and then our fundraiser is at $7,372. So if you want to continue helping, that's fantastic. As you guys see, the money is being put to good use. We got one of the claims removed, which is going to save us money down the road. And at the end of the day, it's very important that we fight this and win, because yes, they did get the motion to dismiss removed for that circumvention claim, but if we win at the end, that's not going to be really too enticing. So they have passed this first step of motion to dismiss for that circumvention claim, but what happens next is really, really important, and we have to get there, and we will get there. So thank you so much. If you're able to help, we really appreciate it, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. I have some really exciting stuff I want to talk to you guys about in the next couple weeks. I can't talk about it yet, but some really fun stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said before, I owe you guys transparency and honesty, and that's what you're gonna get from me. Doesn't matter if it's good news, neutral news, bad news, you are going to get the truth, because the opposition cannot give it to you. They just cannot tell the truth. They're either extremely quiet, or they intentionally mislead their viewers by just blatantly lying. So I'm not gonna do that to you. I hope you guys appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. What's up, everybody?
Frauded a troll. Subscribe to him, guys. You know, because he goes after all these First Amendment auditors, or, well, they claim to be, you know, the ones who stand in post offices for hours on end, filming everybody. You know, this is my right. Blah blah blah, and they just do it for, you know, reactions and clicks and money, and this guy Josh, you know, sort of calls them out, sort of thing, you know, and he's got this right dickhead DMA, you know, DMA frauditor, you know, suing him, and he's somehow managed to find this DMA a lawyer who is charging him nothing, basically. While poor Josh, you know, who runs the Fraudulent Troll channel and Josh Prime and multiple channels, he's got to pay for everything. And he's so transparent, you know, you donate